What's up, everybody? Mr. Amazing here. I'm just going to take you through a map rework of Consulate. I did a little run the other night, just in terms of understanding or just getting myself familiar with the map itself. And I want to give a quick, I'll say quick, but there's quite a few changes. I'm going to give a run through of it and point out some things that you might want to take note of. Let's play the, the actual gameplay. And you see, I'm spawning at my normal spawn. I love the spawn. You can see there's a hole there now. But on the face of it, it's the size is a bit bigger. Right now I'm showing you where the new cam is, but I'll pause it at some point in terms of having a look at the building itself. Um, and then if you look here, immediately you'll see there's scaffolding there where normally yellow window used to be, or probably it is still there at least. But spawn peeking on either side of this map is now no longer as much of a big issue as it was before. And you can see all the cover that they've introduced, like with instance what we're looking at right here. There's a little parking space, well, not parking space, a space where people can sit down with the canopy over here. There's a lot more places to hide outside, even though there's less windows if we carry on and going through this, right? I want to keep going through this. You'll see immediately the front over here that the windows on Spiral are now closed. They're not open at all anymore. So you can't hang over there and get a free shot. And you also can't take out that camera from the side here. And on this side, you can see that I think it's coffee, not coffee, the copy room window is still there. And you'll see a new structure here on the left hand side, which is a new little entrance that they've built on to help out with our way into, we get ourselves into the building. We'll go through that a bit later. I'm still running outside, running to all the different spawn spots, just to see from a perspective how different it looks. You'll notice the two windows into admin are still there, though the bottom area is a bit different because you now get steps up and you've got a little drone on the right hand side, which is new, so that's going to help us be able to get drone in, but the front door is still basically the same. Um, and I'm running to the other spawn spot and you can see this particular camera is still exactly the same. But yeah, there's a bit more cover in a sense, but admin is still an issue if you're spawning from this particular side. You'll notice the higher walls, and again, this is to stop the spawn peeking that used to happen before. It feels a bit smaller in a certain sense, but it's actually much bigger. You also got the truck here in front that stops us from being able to stand at the back and carry if the bomb site is in the front, but there is no bomb site in the front, by the way. The gates are also solid as well, if you noticed. Going around the other side, another thing to stop spawn peeking, even though the walls are enough. We've got a truck here as well. And what you'll notice is that the actual windows that used to be here on the southwest side, all of them are gone. There used to be one in anti and two in piano, and they're all gone. Only the old connector window is still there, but it's no longer a connector room, and you'll see it when I show up later. So as we carry on, I want to sort of be very clear about this, that it's a big rework. It's not a small one. It's actually fundamentally changed Consulate, and I think for the better. And you can be you can make your own decision. You'll see one window there that goes to CEO, and you'll see the new garage, which was peaked before. And I'll just knock a hole through here, and you can actually see how it looks inside there. But we'll get to that a bit later. It's easier to get in there, and it's also that there's no more jump over into straight into yellow door here at the bottom now. Um, and I'm sorry, I just don't want to waste my my hammer. But yellow staircase looks a lot different. It's a lot bigger, and we'll run up and down there at a later stage. Um, that's the yellow window I was talking to, but you'll see there's one at the bottom and one at the top. There's no midway anymore. So what you'll see is the bottom one, if you look through it, as a little platform now. You can see yellow is much bigger than what it used to be. And on top you can see already changes. You can see there's a much bigger change, and you can actually walk all the way to the office or console office, which has also changes as well. I'm going to be saying changes a lot. This used to be the old Zulu window, at least one of them. It now goes into what will be called the West Corridor. But there's also the scaffolding allows us to go up, and there is actually a soft wall. If you look over here, there's a soft wall that actually goes onto yellow. That's brand new. That's a new way of entering place. Bathroom window, There's a reworked bathroom, but bathroom is still there. It's just a lot more spacious, and brand new window onto spiral as well. And what you can actually see is you can actually see this from the spiral sky, um, whatever they call it. I'm losing my words here, but you know what I mean. From the sky walk or whatever you can see it from there. As we go around, again, I'm gonna probably open up these windows now just to, for you to go again, mentioning that those particular windows on spiral are now closed on the curvatures. This is copy room, and what you'll see immediately as well is that it looks slightly different, slightly bigger, and the door is facilitated a bit better. There's a new room there that will get you, and this is the other wall that I showed you that basically opens up and has a staircase down into a new area. But when I say new area, it's there's still server down there, but there's a bit more to it than that. And the most useless piece of building is this part. It's a balcony with no window, nothing. It's completely a waste of time. Um, Admin, I'll just rope up here. Admin still looks not exactly the same. It still has the same two windows, but more space, a bit simpler setup than what it was before. And you'll see once you get inside, I'll explain all the differences there. But those two windows remain generally the same. And then Visa doorway is still the same. It's a bit bigger once you get inside, but simpler, and the hatch is still there where it was before. Right there, I'm gonna run around the front. There's another window into admin. That window was there before as well. It's just still there, but obviously the layout inside makes it have a different perception of the room as well, as the room is in a certain sense a bit smaller in terms of if you look from a relative perspective, but it's still there. There's another window I added that looks into what I'm affectionately calling a little corridor of hallway. There's a hallway corridor that extends to the new room, and that hallway, just understand it's going to be the new hallway is called hallway, and it's an L shape, but we'll walk around there. Front door, donut is gone. There's just this desk in front with a statue, and that's basically it. And it leads to another new room. We're gonna go on top here and see the new balcony, and you can see on the new balcony there is a wall there. One thing I want you to notice is that on the curvatures, you can't actually stay apart. There's a little room just before meetings behind that. There's another way to get in, but if you look back, and maybe I just pull it back a bit here, sorry. Once you open up, if you look on the top here, you can actually see little holes or little vents on the top here where C4s can be thrown, nades can be thrown. This is a dangerous place. Easy access to meeting if the bomb site is there, but it's a bit more dangerous. And I just wanted to show you again, when you are rappelling on this curved balcony, you actually can't go all the way around. You actually stop left and right. So that's the it. So if you thought you could do cool things on this little thing, it's not going to be possible. To the left of it, the old connector window is no longer looking at connector, but is actually still looking at a part of meeting. So to the right is a small room, the new room I showed you, but it's still isn't looking now straight into meeting. So connector in a certain sense is gone. There's no more connector. So just to be clear of that, I should from there. Okay, there's the other. Well, that I think that particular the camera is just slightly different. There's a new window on the right hand side here at the bottom, which goes into closet, which is next to the new piano room. There's piano, and piano looks a lot different as well, but there's a small little room closet next to it. And just above piano, we know there's always been console office. It has one window now, and it actually is in basically the corner of consulate, or the consulate office. Do I jump in here? I think no, I don't jump in here. Anyway, so with that being said, that's all the changes on the outside, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm overlooking. Oh, there's another window over here, the new window that looks basically, I would say it's an entryway towards the bottom or mid yellow. That's just new and can give you quick access into the west corridor and into piano. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of things not a lot of things, a few things that I don't think are important that I'm just overlooking. But yes, looking at the skywalk, and there's that soft wall that I spoke to you about where we opened up on the side. So even if they try to bandit it or something like that, it's easy to take that out from that angle. And these skywalk are still the same. Nothing really brand new except how the top looks. There's the window, there's a new soda machine there as well. So it's going to make for some tricky plays in that respect. You will notice, and I'll just pause here, you will notice that on this wall, well, at this point in time here, this particular wall, there's nothing stopping you from just jumping down and getting into spiral. So from a rush perspective, it's possibly one of the avenues you could use, although take with caution, please. Okay, let's just move along again. Because now I'm going into the building now to show you all the difference, and we'll go in by console office in the first point. So like I mentioned, you can jump in here, and right here is a plant spot by the way. You can plant right here, but you can see the inside looks completely different. And maybe I just pause here so you can have a look here. New window, and where Nook, well, the new window is basically where Nook probably used to be, and now they've changed it that you can get straight into office from there, and you have the diagonal big door still here, but that whole area looks completely different as well. So let's just keep going. There's a new room now next to Consulate, and that room is called Console Side Room. It's basically the new Nook in a sense, but it has a doorway that goes into it and a doorway that goes to yellow. The hatch that used to be in Nook is now still there, and that hatch still goes to piano. Just so that you know, I do shoot it open here so you can have a look at that. But that's the new door, and take note that bombs found exposition and piano room. The old bomb site used to be piano and lobby, but there's no more donut, there's no more lobby. There's a new room called exposition, and we'll expand on that. We'll have a look at that later on. Right, so new side console room. Okay, I don't know what we're going to call it. And then at this point in time, you see the skylight, and then you see the soft wall. And this is just like a little entry area. It says exit stairs here. I don't know what we're going to call it, but it's a new little small area. And you can actually see by the sort of the dimensions that console is a bit bigger, even though it looks the same. It's actually a bit bigger. So here we get the rug area. We used to call it rug. I'm still gonna call it rug because there is still a rug. Much bigger, and it's right opposite the bathroom, which you can still see here. That's the window opened up, and you see bathroom's much simpler than what it was before. Um, and there's a nice soft wall that goes into that exit stairs area. So it's a possible nice place to hold if you want to. Put a mirror over there, stop anybody coming in from yellow. You also have these two walls, one that's still in the extended office or extended console office, and then meeting. So no more connector room. That window that used to be by connector, no longer there. It's into meeting. It's got a bit of cover here, and meeting is a much bigger room, and it's right next door to the office, to console office as well. Okay, and then you have those front walls, or a wall from meeting that goes into rug. And there's that small little room that I spoke about where you can throw C4s over and stuff like that. You have a new area in front of meeting, which is called meeting hallway. I'm sure that we're going to probably call it meeting hallway as well. It's got a soft floor, um, and I think that's above the new area downstairs as well. And then you get long desk, which is still there. Now, maybe long desk, it used to lead straight into rug area directly, but now it's just got a little L shape through a door. The long desk is still there. It's a bit shorter, I think, in that respect, but it's taller as well. From meeting room, you used to be able to go down admin stairs. And there used to be a little sedgeway into a little small office before you got to admin. That's completely changed now. Remember I spoke outside about the hallway, where when we looked at the window, there was a hallway. And there's an L hallway. This is the new hallway that's in here that goes straight across from from the south part of the building all the way to the north part. And there are new things there. At the end, on the far east side, is still admin as we know it, but there's a few changes in the middle which we're going to go through now. So from meeting, you go into this hallway, and there's the old stairs that you used to put we call visa stairs. It still goes down. It's just not right next to the wall anymore because they've made a walkway here from hallway into a new room. So visa stairs is still there, and there are changes when you get downstairs as well. But then the new hallway goes into manager's office. That's new. And we never had that manager's office unless that small little area between from Visa Steve and you go to the room before admin, unless that was called manager's office before. Maybe I'm wrong. but there's a whole new room on its own with soft walls, and from there you get into admin. And there's the window I showed you for admin, the other two windows over there. In between the copy room and in between manager, this is the copy room right here. In between copy room and manager is the new break room. This is also brand new. And where the hatch used to be in admin, the hatch is now sitting in this break room area. Now, if you remember the old copy room, you used to have a small little break room. You can actually see by the size of this thing how much they've expanded the whole map to cater for such a new room to be in there. And you see from hallway, it goes into meeting hallway, and from hallway you can get into long desk as well. So it's quite interesting. Spiral also a bit more expanded, and you, like I showed you, there's the window into Spiral as well. So it's going to bring a little bit of dynamics. The Spiral cam is still there. I don't know why I didn't look at it. And there's a new cam. If I can just pause because I did miss it in my run through. Um, yeah, we're just running through meeting, just getting more familiar with the place. But I think if okay, I don't see it here, but maybe let me just rewind a bit. Go back here, go back here, go back here. And if I go here, yeah, in the far corner on top, you can see the camera. That's one of the new cameras that I put in place. Okay, so that's new. So just remember that up Visa stairs or through the window there by manager. In actual fact, I'll probably call it manager window because it's closest to manager door. Okay, I think I was about to go downstairs now and show you the difference. So Visa stairs is still here. Go down Visa, and that Visa window is no longer there. And Visa looks simpler, as mentioned before. The doors are still there, the camera is still there, and the hatch is still there. The hatch drops down into server still, so that remains unchanged. However, and I run back upstairs just to show you the camera again. Okay, let's go. Actually, this is me running across to see if there's any new cameras because I might have missed some, but I don't think I did. I think there's still one camera in. Yes, in a rug, the camera placement is slightly changed, but it's still more or less the same positioning. I'm sorry that I didn't mention it in the beginning, but yeah, I do try and look for these cameras during the run through as well. Okay, so we're gonna go downstairs. Okay, there's spiral camera still in the exact same place. So now we're going down. I just want to open up that. That's another wall into break room. Break room's big. Break room's big, and there's a lot of playability there. So Visa is still basically the same. The window into Visa is still the same as well. And you would have noticed that on top break rooms hatch drops into Visa directly. The Visa hatch down into server is still the same. No changes there specifically. Just at the bottom it looks slightly different. And as we walk around, you'll see this new part here. This is it's called service stairs, but I'm going to call it east corridor because there's a west corridor as well. This is a new spot or a new corridor that goes straight into the lobby section. So just take note of that. There's ways for us to rotate now right around, and you'll see also behind lobby is a new room called lounge, and lounge has walls that go straight into tellers. So take note of that change, right? So from Visa, you can get this corridor that has a soft wall into Visa or into tellers, and there's the staircase that goes down into service. And we'll go down there later. But the staircase has changed now. It doesn't go into cafeteria, it goes straight into server. We'll expand on that a bit better. But here's new lounge, and next to lounge, or in the old world, you used to have here's the bottom of the spiral, and you can see it's bigger. You can see it's noticeably bigger. And behind spiral, you can go into the east corridor. Note that hatch used to drop into the small room next to server. That small room doesn't exist, but the hatch position is still there. So this is called east corridor. Maybe I got my call out wrong. This is east corridor, which is mirrored on the other side with west corridor as well. So maybe we'll find another word for the top. Maybe that way, that on the other side next to the Visa stairs, we can call that Visa hallway that goes into lobby. But I'll work that out with the team specifically in that respect. Okay, so there's tellers. Here's spiral, looking nice and big and juicy. And then from spiral, we can go into west corridor. And west corridor is where old Zulu used to be, essentially. So west corridor is here. We have a soft wall that goes into the brand new room, which is called exposition. I'm going to call it expo. And we'll walk into this soon, and there's piano. I want to go around the corner here because we're going to go back into lounge, and there's soft walls that goes into expo as well. So expo basically replaces ante and toilet in a sense. There's the hatch that we used to use for. Let me just remind a bit. There's the hatch that used to be in toilet is now sitting in expo. Went a bit too far there. Just hold on for me. Yeah, there we go. So here's the hatch. That hatch over here used to be in toilet, and it still drops down into it drops down. Okay, we'll see where it drops down now. I think it drops down into garage, but I'll be clear. This wall is right next to lobby. So if you run into lobby, here's a wall you can basically open up as well. And next to expo is piano, which you'll see now. There's you see pianos, etc. So it's two rooms now instead of, well, it used to be lobby, ante, toilet, and then piano. Now it's just, well, in the front you've got your lobby and your lounge and then spiral, but then you've got expo and you have piano right next to it. So I think it's a lot simpler, but the design of the walls is a bit iffy. Here's the closet where that window is. We can jump in and go straight into piano. So if you want to rush piano side, this is a good one to use, even though I think it's going to be a bit crazy to try and do that. And then there's another soft wall that goes to mid-yellow in that respect. Here's the west corridor that we looked at before, and I think in this respect, this is piano and goes into expo. There's closet. So it's kind of simple, but there's much more space here, much more. Okay, so yellow state is still much bigger. It's got the soft wall, and I'm going to go straight down into basement, which look okay. I'm not going to go right down right now. I think we are going to go right down. Okay, so it's a bit bigger because there's yellow door. Yellow door is no longer just on the corner, um, and you can see that you can't immediately see garage, and that's because you have to come around the corner and go through this doorway to see garage. So the map is a little bigger in that respect. So once you get in here, there's no more pipes. There's now this yellow pillar where you can hide around. That annoying radio is still here, but there's a new pillar that you can hide around. And as you look at it, you can see it's the garage isn't. There's no the white van is gone, rip, but it's not as it's a bit wider and broader, but there's more cover in a sense because there's two yellow pillars. There's now oh yeah, here's I'm ripping for white van, and there's another yellow cover right here on the right hand side. Um, there's the hatch from Expo that drops into garage. It no longer drops into. I think the previous one dropped into cafeteria. So just take that into account. There's cafeteria, nicely redone, reworked, and a lot more space. And next to cafeteria, we have the new Lockers Hallway. Now, I'm not sure if it was always called Lockers Hallway, but before you used to have your cafeteria right next to it is your security, and the room we're looking at in front of us is security. Um, and the next to security, they used to have this hallway that went all the way to server. Now this is much bigger, and you'll see here that this whole area, oh, this is cafeteria. You can see it's reworked, and here's the much bigger security area. But there's this whole part on the other side that's now a complete new big hallway. We'll come around the corner here, and it's called Locker Hallway. Now that's new or a different way of showing it. And security itself is also brand new, and it has, I think if you looked closely there, it has another doorway in it. So camera is still basically the same. There's into spiral with a bit of a longer, elongated way, so it's not just coming down to the spiral and you're in the open. There's a bit of a hallway here that you can hide things if you want to. And there we get to lockers, and I just want to pull slightly back here. Remember I told you that that the um, the hatch that's in the east corridor used to go into a small little room next to server. It now drops straight into this big hallway. That's the hatch over there. From this hallway of lockers, there's a doorway that goes into a room called coffee. Coffee is new. we never had this room before. It's a small little connector room. I don't even want to call it coffee or connector, but it's a small little room that connects lockers to server to our previously known to the other room that was known as storage. And you'll see here's storage. Storage is still here, looks a bit different. And there's a new area in front just before you get to cafeteria. We get there first. But storage still goes into server, which looks a lot cleaner now as well. The new area in front of, okay, let me, security room, we're back in here, out of security, you go into that hallway over there. That hallway is called construction, and you'll see it now. Once you get in here, this is construction. So think of Oregon, sort of the same kind of thing in terms of the basement area where there's still work being done. So this is called construction, and construction has walls into cafeteria, as you can see as well. And then the old, well, the hallway is still here, except it doesn't lead from, these stairs anymore. And from you could used to come down these stairs and just go straight into this hallway. It's now construction area because it's much bigger. I moved through it, and you can see here this is into server. The hole you see in front of you on the left hand side, that is from storage. And here's the new stairs that goes from tellers to server. I'm not sure what we're going to call it. I think they call it exit stairs or service stairs. They call it service stairs. I don't even want to call it teller stairs or server stairs, but we'll work that out together. But that's new, and that adds a new dynamism to the up-down site as well. This hatch is still in the same place, still looks a bit different, but here you're on server, and server looks clean as hell. I love the way server looks. A lot of places you can hide, a lot of places you can put up defenses, but there are further changes that you need to know about, and we're going to link that all up now in a bit. Like I said, new coffee room goes into lockers, and the hatch in terms of lockers, well, the old room just drops into lockers now. That's on East Corridor. And here you go, and you walk straight into Tellers. Tellers look slightly different, but just slightly different in my opinion. So server has a new door at the back. This used to be walls, usually end, but now it has a new electrical corridor, electrical room where that where it has a wall that goes into server, but and more specifically, sorry, that's your Visa hatch drop that still drops straight into server, but now there's extra bit over here that leads to the new building with a stupid balcony that you can breach into. So here's another way of entering into server that we never had before. And I see a lot of different new angles for me to get killed by because there's a lot of new ways of playing Consulate now with the way that this map has been changed. And it's kind of cool that this rework is probably the one I'm most excited for because it's a very dynamic rework. It's bigger, it has more variability in it, and yeah, I think there's going to be a few L's before we can play this particular map very well. So yeah, that's me just doing the quick roundup in terms of basically what the map rework is. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that I've overlooked in terms of finer details, but I do love what it looks like. I like the rework. I'm excited for this map, and I don't think I'm ever going to ban it. There's so much fun to be had in this map, and I hope that with what I've done here, it allows for you to have a better sense of the map now. Please feel free to run through all the different sections of the video again, because I will section it up as well. Because like I say, the more you know, the better you are at it. So or better are at attacking this map, or at least playing attack and playing defense as well. There's a myriad of different defenses that still need to be learned, tried, failed, passed, whatever. It's gonna be fun. This map looks fun. This map looks highly competitive. I've played once on it in ranked, and even though I took an L there, I love the map. Okay, my buddies didn't know the map, but it's fine. Have fun with this map. Otherwise, stay true to yourselves, get good at dry trying. Mr. Amazing sign off for the independent view. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Cheers.